Hi there, I'm Yasmin, one of the veterinarians here at Centro Veterinario Privet in Aluche. And today I'm going to give you some tips on how to get a cat to eat a new food. As cat owners will know, cats can be pretty picky sometimes with foods. They get, especially foods that they've been eating for a long time, they can get very accustomed to certain tastes, but also to textures and smells. And it can sometimes be pretty difficult to get them to eat a different food. We might need to change the food simply because of the age of the cat, from a kitten food to an adult food, for example, or from an adult food to a senior food. But a change in food can be particularly important in older cats with any type of illness like chronic kidney disease or diabetes, obesity. There are several diseases where a change in diet is actually a very important part of treatment. So there are situations where we really want to get the cat eating the new food as soon as possible. Now, especially in cats, anytime you want to change the food, the most important part is to be very patient. The process can, depending on the cat, take quite a bit of time, 2, 3, even 4 weeks. And we need to let the cat be the one who lets us know when it's ready for each change, okay? So, first step is always to directly just offer the new food. This may seem obvious, but a lot of people don't necessarily try it. It's always worth a try because if we're lucky, the cat will just eat it and we can thank the cat for making our life a lot easier, and that's it. But if the cat does not eat the food, most cats will respond well to a gradual introduction of the new food. This introduction has to be very little by little. I usually recommend 10% increases, so 10% of the new food and 90% of the old food to start, and see how the cat eats that. Once the cat is eating that well, we can then increase it another 10% and so on and so forth until the cat is eating the new food entirely. Now, especially when we're talking about cats with any sort of disease, we obviously don't want the cat to not eat at all. So if we see that when we put a little bit of the new food down for them, they don't want to eat the mix at all, what we can do is put out 2 plates, 2 separate dishes, one with just their usual old food and one with the mix, and put a bit less in the dish with the old food so that they will eat that preferentially. And once that's done, if they're still hungry, then they'll start hopefully picking at the mix and slowly get used to that and start eating it a little bit better. Okay, so as I said, normally this will work pretty well if we do it with patience, and as I said, letting the cat dictate when it's ready to change a little bit more and increase a little bit the proportion of new food. This will work in most cats to introduce something new that they're not necessarily very keen on. Now, if this doesn't work, there are some options to try to make the food a little bit tastier for the cats. What we can try, for example, is to buy canned tuna, but canned tuna in water, not in oil, and use a couple drops of that water to add a little bit of flavor to the food. They usually like this taste, and it can help to get them to eat that food. In terms of adding pieces of tuna or little pieces of chicken or ham or things that the cat might like, this could work sometimes, but this you should always talk with your vet before trying, because there are some cases or some diseases in which we don't necessarily want to add a source of food that's rich in proteins to their kibble. So always talk with your vet about that before deciding if you want to add something new to the diet. Okay, so as I said, with a lot of patience, in most cats we can get them to eat a new food, even if at first they're not necessarily too keen on it. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you have any questions, please let us know at Centros Veterinarios Privet. We're here 24 hours for whatever you need.